Hello from Mindset Daily, wishing you a day full of health, peace, and happiness. Thank you for watching the Mindset Daily channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Thank you so much. What if every morning held the key to your transformation, from ordinary to extraordinary? What separates those who live their dreams from those who merely fantasize about them? It's not luck. It's not just talent. It's something you already have, but may not be using. Imagine waking up each day with a quiet certainty. Today is another chance, a clean slate to rise above the average and walk boldly toward your fortune. The truth is, success isn't some rare privilege gifted to a chosen few. It doesn't come from winning the genetic lottery or being in the right place at the right time. Success is shaped by daily decisions, by the habits you reinforce, the mindset you feed, and the consistent actions you choose to take, especially when no one's watching. In this video, we're diving deep into the 5 steps to go from average to fortune, a powerful, proven path that anyone can follow. These aren't just steps on paper. They're tools that, when used with discipline and resolve, can take you from where you are right now to where you dream of being. Step 1. Master your mindset. Your mind can be your most powerful ally or your most relentless enemy. This isn't just a motivational slogan. History is filled with examples of how mindset, more than mere intelligence or brute effort, shapes destiny. Take Henry Ford, for instance. When he set out to create the revolutionary V8 engine, his own engineers told him it was impossible. They insisted that the technology simply didn't exist to make his vision a reality. But Ford didn't flinch. He didn't compromise his vision or scale down his ambition. Instead, he gave a direct order: keep trying until you find a way. Every time they returned with the same defeatist message, Ford sent them back again, driven not by arrogance, but by an unshakable belief in possibility. Eventually, through persistent effort and fueled by Ford's refusal to quit, his team cracked the code. The result? The iconic Ford V8 engine, a breakthrough that redefined the automotive world. This story reveals a deeper truth. Mastering your mindset isn't just about thinking positively. It's about maintaining mental discipline in the face of resistance. Ford's unwavering belief didn't just overcome technical barriers. It sparked innovation that reshaped an entire industry. Now consider 2 people. Same potential, same background. One rises, using every challenge as fuel. The other stagnates, held back by hesitation and self-doubt. What sets them apart? It's mindset, the inner compass that determines how they interpret and respond to life's moments. Most people live reactively. They let circumstances dictate their energy, their decisions, even their sense of identity. Like leaves in the wind, they drift. But those who break free from mediocrity, they take control. They tend to their inner world with intention. They shape their thoughts, challenge limiting beliefs, and harness emotion as a tool, not a trap. Think of your mind as a garden. If you allow seeds of fear, doubt, or negativity to take root, your garden will be overrun with weeds, clutter that suffocates your potential. But plant seeds of self-belief, discipline, and focused ambition. You'll grow a thriving mental ecosystem that fuels success. And that's just the first step. In the next section, we'll explore how developing unwavering clarity in your vision can amplify this mindset even further. Ready to continue? Let's move on to step 2. Previously, we explored how mastering your mindset is the foundation of transformation, how the way you think shapes the world you experience. Now, let's go a layer deeper into the mental habits that either build your inner strength or silently erode it. Your mind is like a forest, full of opportunity, strength, and untapped resilience. And just like a forest begins with seeds, so does your mindset. Each thought you choose to plant has the potential to grow into something powerful or something poisonous. The choice of which seeds to sow each day is entirely yours. But how do you consciously choose the right thoughts? The first step is recognizing a profound truth. The mind is malleable. It's constantly being shaped and reshaped by your most dominant thoughts. In other words, you're the active gardener of your own mental terrain. And like any gardener, your habits, especially your mental ones, determine the harvest. Daily thought patterns, even those that seem insignificant, accumulate over time. They can build a fortress of strength or slowly chip away at your confidence. Every thought matters. Every repetition counts. Let's look at the damage done by negative thinking. Doubt and fear might seem quiet, but they are devastating. They act like silent killers of ambition. When you regularly feed your mind thoughts like, I can't, I'm not good enough, or this is impossible, you unconsciously build invisible walls around yourself. These walls grow stronger with each repetition, until even basic challenges start to feel overwhelming. People trapped in this cycle often never reach their potential, not because they lack talent, but because they've already convinced themselves they'll fail before even trying. Now contrast that with a growth-oriented mindset. When you train your mind to ask, how can I do this? Or believe that there's always a way, something powerful happens. Doors begin to appear where others see only dead ends. Challenges become puzzles to solve rather than reasons to quit. Failure turns into feedback, a compass guiding you toward refinement and success. Those who succeed don't retreat when adversity strikes. They press forward with resilience and creativity, powered by belief and resourcefulness. They don't crumble under pressure. They adapt and rise. Behind every fortune, behind every breakthrough or game-changing innovation, is a mind that believed first. Every success you admire began quietly in someone's imagination. It was born from a vivid mental picture, fueled by conviction and strengthened by daily mental discipline. These aren't lucky breaks or random strokes of genius. They are intentional results of focused, consistent thought. What set these individuals apart wasn't their circumstances, connections, or raw intelligence. It was their ability to command their thinking and nurture powerful mental habits. They taught themselves to see openings where others saw roadblocks. They stayed loyal to their vision, even when the world doubted them. And this brings us to a crucial principle, the power of clarity. In the next section, we'll explore how having a clear, compelling vision acts as a guiding star, and why without it, even the strongest mindset can drift off course. Let's move forward. Previously, we uncovered how thought patterns and disciplined mental habits shape the foundation for success. Now, let's dive into how this inner mastery continues to evolve through perspective, practice, and intentional reinforcement. Exceptional individuals understand a crucial truth. The most important battles are not fought in the outer world, but within the mind. Before any external success is achieved, it must first be won in thought, belief, and vision. If you truly want to begin the journey from average to fortune, then the process starts here, with mastering your mindset. This begins by becoming consciously aware of your inner dialogue. Eliminate self-doubt and negative self-talk the moment it arises. Each time you catch yourself thinking, I can't, make it a habit to pause and reframe that statement into, how can I? That simple question is more powerful than it seems. It shifts your mental state from one of defeat to one of possibility. How can I? Invites creativity, awakens resourcefulness, and activates your subconscious mind to begin looking for solutions rather than fixating on obstacles. Never forget, the mind, once expanded by a new idea, never returns to its original shape. Each empowering thought stretches your mental boundaries just a little further, creating more space for confidence, clarity, and belief to grow. Over time, These mental expansions lay the groundwork for a mindset rooted in discipline and self-assurance, one that naturally supports your future goals and actions. But mindset mastery isn't a one-time decision. Like a muscle, your mind must be trained, strengthened, and nourished regularly. Feed it with books that challenge your perspective. Seek out conversations that inspire growth. Surround yourself with people who represent the qualities you want to embody. And just as you protect a garden from weeds, guard your mind from negativity and criticism. Because those are the weeds that suffocate your potential before it has a chance to bloom. One of the most powerful tools in mental conditioning is visualization. Frequently and vividly picture your goals. Don't just imagine the result, feel it. See yourself succeeding. Let your emotions fully experience that vision. Why? Because your subconscious mind, which responds primarily to emotion, doesn't distinguish between imagined experiences and reality. By visualizing success repeatedly and with clarity, you train your mind to believe in it and act in accordance with it. Alongside visualization, use affirmations to solidify that belief. Repeat phrases like, I am capable, I am resilient, I create solutions, and success flows to me. In the beginning, these words might feel forced or unfamiliar. But through repetition, they start to sink in, slowly reshaping your self-concept and guiding your behavior in powerful, aligned ways. True mindset mastery also means welcoming challenges, not avoiding them. A positive mindset doesn't pretend problems don't exist. It seeks them out, knowing that growth is born under pressure. Start seeing every setback not as a dead end, but as a seed of future success. When you train your mind to look for the potential benefit within each obstacle, you begin to transform adversity into advantage. And finally, never underestimate the power of gratitude. Gratitude acts like sunlight and rain in the garden of your mind. It nurtures growth, sustains perspective, and keeps you anchored in abundance rather than lack. In the next section, we'll explore the importance of having a clear and compelling vision, and how that vision becomes the roadmap that guides every action. Let's continue. In the previous section, we uncovered how gratitude, visualization, and affirmations nourish your mental landscape, turning mindset into the foundation for transformation. Now, let's explore how that mindset becomes fuel for bold, strategic action. It all begins with nurturing every positive thought you plant. Just as a gardener waters seeds to help them grow, you must regularly acknowledge your blessings, both big and small. Doing this fosters an abundance mindset. And when you live in a state of appreciation, your subconscious mind becomes attuned to attract more of what you truly value. In the end, your mindset doesn't just influence your journey, it defines your trajectory. It's the single most powerful force that separates mediocrity from greatness. The good news? This power is completely within your control. Every thought is a conscious choice. Every belief you adopt is an open door. And every mindset you cultivate becomes a bridge, leading you one step closer to your desired fortune. So today, choose to master your mind. Embrace thoughts of possibility, discipline, and growth. Be deliberate in what you allow to take root. And if you nurture these mental seeds with consistency, one day you'll look around and find yourself in a thriving forest of opportunity, wealth, and fulfillment, a living testament to the power of your inner world. Step 2. Set goals that scare you. Average individuals tend to set small, safe goals. They seek comfort, aim low, and settle for predictability. They avoid risk and sidestep uncertainty, thinking safety is the smart path. But those who build fortunes, those who leave a mark on history, think very differently. They aim high. They pursue goals that challenge them, push them, and demand their growth. They set targets that force them to evolve, mentally, emotionally, and physically. A real goal should spark both excitement and fear. It should stir a sense of possibility, but also a sense of discomfort. Why? Because discomfort is a sign of expansion. If your goals don't make you feel at least a little nervous, are they truly worthy of you? If your ambition doesn't make your hands sweat or your heart race, perhaps you're aiming too low. The truth is, history's greatest achievements were born from people who dared to dream beyond what they thought was possible. What separates the average from the extraordinary isn't just the size of the dream, it's the level of commitment to it. Everyone dreams of success, but few actually commit. And commitment doesn't mean working hard only when you're motivated. It means attaching deadlines to your dreams. It means turning massive ambitions into small, daily, non-negotiable actions. Because without a clear plan, even the most inspiring dream becomes nothing more than a hopeful wish. Take a big goal, like making $1 million. When you look at that number, it might feel overwhelming, even impossible. But the key lies in breaking it down, and that's exactly what we'll explore in the next section. How to deconstruct your boldest goals into clear, strategic steps you can take starting now. Let's continue. In the previous section, we saw how setting bold, intimidating goals is essential to growth. But dreaming big isn't enough. What truly matters is what you do next. Let's be honest. Huge goals can feel paralyzing. Making $1 million, writing a book, transforming your body. It all seems impossible when viewed as a whole. But what if you broke it down? Ask yourself, how much do you need to earn this year? Then, what does that mean this month? This week? Today? When you divide a massive goal into small, concrete daily actions, something shifts. The mountain you were staring up, it suddenly looks like a staircase. That overwhelming vision becomes a series of achievable steps. The focus is no longer on reaching the peak. It's about taking the next step, one deliberate move at a time. Because success isn't built in a single moment of glory. It's crafted slowly, deliberately. Brick by brick, habit by habit, day after day. No one wakes up on top of the mountain. They climb it. They show up consistently. And they keep moving, even when it's hard. And yet, here's where most people stumble. They rely on motivation. But motivation is unreliable. It's here in the morning, gone by the afternoon. It's easy to be excited in the beginning when the idea is still fresh. But true success isn't born from bursts of inspiration. It's born from discipline. Discipline means doing what you committed to do long after the initial excitement has faded. It means showing up when it's hard, when you're tired, when you'd rather quit. That's the edge. That's what separates those who achieve from those who only imagine. Picture this. You're given a choice between two ladders. One has many small, manageable steps. The other has fewer steps, but they're spaced far apart. Huge, difficult leaps. Which one would you choose? The first ladder may seem slow, but it's steady. It's safe. It's reliable. You make progress every day. The second ladder looks impressive, but those wide gaps are risky and hard to sustain. And that's why small, consistent daily actions matter. They may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they generate unstoppable momentum. Take a look at any high achiever, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists. What do they all have in common? Systems. They don't rely on willpower. They don't wait for ideal conditions. They create habits and structures that guarantee progress. A writer doesn't wait to feel inspired. They write daily. A bodybuilder doesn't train only when they feel strong. They lift regardless. A millionaire doesn't wait for luck. They build systems that create opportunity day in and day out. So, set a goal that excites you and scares you. Then build a system around it. Something you return to every single day. Because in the end, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to take relentless, focused action. No one's coming to save you. No one else can do the work for you. Your future depends on your actions, starting now. But what happens when fear creeps in? Because let's be real, if your goals don't scare you, they're probably too small. So in the next section, we'll confront that fear head on and discover how it can actually become your greatest ally. Let's continue. Previously, we explored the power of consistent, focused action and how building systems, not just setting goals, is the secret to long-term success. But there's something that often blocks action, no matter how clear the plan is: fear. Here's the truth: growth lies where fear exists. Most people see fear as a red light, a warning sign telling them to stop. But high achievers? They interpret fear differently. For them, fear is a green light. It means go. They don't run from it, they run toward it. Why? Because they understand a powerful truth. Fear and excitement are two sides of the same coin. That rush of adrenaline you feel when you're scared, it's the exact same energy that can drive bold action. It's all about how you interpret it. So instead of shrinking from fear, lean in. Let it push you forward. Let it sharpen your focus and stretch your limits. Let it challenge you and fuel you. Then there's failure, another reason people settle for average. Most people treat failure like a final verdict. They fall and they stay down. But those who succeed think differently. They see failure as feedback, not defeat. Every failure carries a lesson. Every mistake reveals a blind spot. Every setback becomes a stepping stone to refinement and resilience. Think about Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Thousands. But each failure wasn't the end. It was a necessary part of the journey. His perseverance didn't come from avoiding failure. It came from learning how to use it. The road to success is built on failure. But here's the key: fail fast. Learn faster. Keep going. Because success isn't the opposite of failure. It's failure refined. If you try to avoid failure completely, you're also avoiding success. The two are connected more deeply than most people realize. So here's a challenge for you. Take one big goal, just one. One that excites you and scares you at the same time. Now break it down. What do you need to accomplish this year? This month? This week? Today? Once you have that plan, commit. Not for a weekend. Not until it gets uncomfortable. Commit for as long as it takes. Because success is not about luck. It's not even about talent. It's about grit. It's about resilience. It's about showing up when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when everything inside you says stop, but you keep going anyway. The world doesn't reward those who play it safe. It rewards those who dare, those who stretch, those who are willing to get uncomfortable in pursuit of something greater. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented, but you do have to be the most committed. So, set the goal. Face the fear. Build the system. Take relentless action. That's how your life begins to transform. And to make that transformation permanent, you need one more thing: self-discipline. In the next section, we'll explore what it means to develop relentless self-discipline and why that trait alone can determine whether you reach the life you truly want. Let's continue. In the last section, we explored the necessity of facing fear and committing fully to your vision, regardless of discomfort. But once the initial surge of courage fades, what keeps you going? That's where self-discipline takes center stage. Some days you feel unstoppable, energized, focused, ready to conquer the world. But then the next day arrives, and suddenly you feel tired, unmotivated, uninspired. If your progress is driven by emotion or motivation alone, your results will always be inconsistent. And inconsistency? That's the true enemy of greatness. The real secret behind extraordinary achievement isn't found in bursts of inspiration. It's rooted in discipline. Discipline is the ability to show up and do the work day in and day out, no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on around you. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you develop. It's a muscle. And just like any muscle, it strengthens through repetition. That first time you force yourself to act when you'd rather give in to laziness or distraction, it's tough. But each time you override your emotions and honor your commitment, You reinforce the habit of discipline. Eventually, it becomes second nature, a lifestyle, an internal standard. And from that foundation, success begins to compound. Repetition is the heartbeat of discipline. Every time you act with intention, especially when it's hard, you take greater control over your mind and body. You're not just completing tasks, you're reprogramming yourself to operate on a higher level. Over time, discipline evolves into routine. Routine becomes identity, and identity becomes destiny. So here's the question. Are you controlling your habits, or are your habits controlling you? Most people live in a reactive loop. They wake up, reach for their phones, scroll endlessly, procrastinate, and make excuses, completely unaware that their autopilot habits are carving out a future they never intended. If you don't take control of your habits will take control of you. And that control begins with self-awareness. You must first identify the patterns shaping your days. Because once you're aware of them, you can choose to change them. To move from average to exceptional, mastering self-discipline is not optional. It is essential. Success doesn't belong to the most talented or the most intelligent. The world is full of gifted individuals who never achieve anything meaningful. Why? Because they lack consistency. They never train themselves to follow through when it mattered most. Intelligence without action is wasted potential. Talent without effort is a missed opportunity. The only real difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't is this: consistent action, regardless of emotion. Discipline is showing up even when it's hard. It's setting a high standard for yourself and holding yourself accountable to it. It means doing the uncomfortable work when no one's watching, when there's no applause, and when progress feels painfully slow. Yes, there will be days when you don't feel like doing it. And that's where true discipline begins. In the next section, we'll explore how to create a structure that supports your discipline and why building systems, not relying on willpower, is the game changer for lasting success. Let's move forward. In the last part, we uncovered how discipline, not talent, not intelligence, is the defining trait that separates success from stagnation. Now, let's go even deeper into how discipline is built, sustained, and ultimately becomes your greatest advantage. There will be days when pushing forward feels almost impossible. Days when your mind whispers, "Take it easy, relax." You can always start tomorrow. But here's the danger. Tomorrow is a trap. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week turns into next year. And before you know it, you're staring back at a life filled with regret, wondering what might have been if you had just stayed the course. The only way to break that cycle is through discipline, through an unwavering commitment to your goals and a rock-solid belief that you will follow through, no matter what life throws at you. So, how do you actually build discipline? You start small. Discipline isn't about turning your world upside down overnight. It's not about radical, unsustainable change. It's about the quiet, consistent choices you make every single day. Wake up when you said you would. Follow through on the promises you've made to yourself. Push out one extra rep at the gym. Work on your dreams, even when you don't feel like it. These acts may seem minor, but they carry weight. When repeated, they create momentum. A powerful, undeniable energy that propels you forward. With time, these small wins build trust in yourself. And that trust, it becomes your fuel. Remove the option to quit. The most successful individuals don't even allow quitting to enter the conversation. They don't negotiate with emotions. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They commit fully because they understand that success is nothing more than a mirror of their daily discipline. And if you want to stay disciplined, your environment matters more than you think. If you're surrounded by distractions, social media, negative people, unhealthy habits, you'll constantly fight to maintain focus. So be intentional. Design your space to support your mission. Cut out the noise. Seek out people who uplift and challenge you. Let your environment reflect your goals. Embrace discomfort. The road to any meaningful success is paved with resistance, setbacks, and self-doubt. But the disciplined person knows. Discomfort is where growth happens. Each time you step outside your comfort zone, you strengthen your resilience. You grow tougher, sharper, wiser. Discipline means not avoiding the struggle, but welcoming it because you know the struggle is shaping you. Take ownership. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. If you want a different life, you must take full responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your results. No more excuses. No more blaming your circumstances. No more waiting for the right time. Because that perfect moment you keep waiting for, it doesn't exist. The only moment that matters is this one, right now. In the end, success isn't easy, but it is simple. Do the work. Stay consistent. Show up every day, no matter how you feel. Discipline isn't about being lucky, gifted, or born for greatness. It's about choosing it again and again. So now the question is, will you make that choice? In the next section, we'll look at how to maintain that discipline long-term by creating powerful habits and routines that support your momentum, especially when life tries to pull you off course. Let's move forward. In the last section, we learned that discipline isn't a feeling, it's a choice. A choice you make every day to take ownership of your life and rise above comfort and excuses. But even with strong discipline, one powerful force can either propel you forward or hold you back, your environment. So ask yourself, are you truly willing to do what it takes? Are you ready to embrace discipline, stay committed, and show up every single day, no matter what? Because if the answer is yes, then success becomes inevitable. Why? Because discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. The only question left is, will you cross it? Step 4. Surround yourself with excellence. You will never rise above the standards of the people you surround yourself with. That's not just a motivational quote. It's a fundamental truth of human nature. Your environment shapes you, often more than you realize. The people you spend the most time with influence your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately, your future. Whether you're aware of it or not, you're the average of the individuals you associate with most. Their mindset, their ambitions, or their lack of them will inevitably rub off on you. It's not just about direct advice or conversation. It's about energy, attitude, and perspective. Spend enough time around small thinking, and it starts to feel normal. Let's be honest. Mediocrity is contagious. If you're constantly surrounded by people who play it safe, complain about circumstances, or make excuses for their lack of progress, you'll eventually absorb that mentality. Not because you're weak, but because human beings adapt to the dominant energy around them. Their worldview, their excuses, their casual approach to life. It will begin to seem acceptable. Your own hunger for greatness will start to feel out of place, even excessive. And slowly, your inner fire will begin to dim. The drive that once pushed you forward will be replaced by quiet resignation. This principle applies to every area of your life: your finances, your health, your relationships, your mindset. If the people closest to you lack ambition, discipline, and vision, it becomes exponentially harder to cultivate those traits in yourself. We are social creatures. Whether we admit it or not, we mirror the behaviors of those around us. Spend enough time with people who procrastinate, blame others, and coast through life, and you'll catch yourself doing the same. You'll start postponing, excusing, and lowering your own standards without even realizing it. But here's the good news. The opposite is also true. Surround yourself with individuals who are focused, driven, and committed to growth, and everything changes. Their intensity will challenge your complacency. Their discipline will expose your excuses. Their progress will force you to reevaluate your limits. In their presence, you're not competing, you're evolving. This isn't about comparison. It's about inspiration. It's about proximity, to greatness, forcing you to raise your own bar. So, what happens when you're surrounded by that kind of energy every day? In the next section, we'll dive into how to intentionally craft your circle of influence and why curating the right people in your life could be the final catalyst to transforming your potential in a lasting success. Let's continue. In the previous section, we explored how your environment, and especially the people you surround yourself with, can either push you forward or pull you back. Now, let's dive deeper into why that influence is so powerful and how it can be the turning point in your journey to greatness. It all comes down to exposure. When you witness greatness up close, when you see what's truly possible, it becomes almost impossible to shrink back into small thinking. Once your mind has expanded to new potential, it can't unsee it. That's the power of proximity. Success isn't just about what you know, it's also about who you're learning from. In today's world, information is everywhere. Anyone can read books, watch videos, or scroll through motivational content. But knowledge without the right environment rarely transforms into action. That's why surrounding yourself with the right people accelerates growth in ways self-study never could. When you're in the presence of high achievers, you absorb more than just their words. You see their mindset in motion. You observe how they make decisions, how they stay focused under pressure, how they work with precision and consistency. Their habits become a live blueprint for your own progress. Their standards raise your standards, naturally, silently, powerfully. That's why your social circle matters more than you may realize. The people closest to you are either your greatest asset or your biggest liability. They're either pulling you toward your future or anchoring you to your past. So ask yourself honestly, are the people around you pushing you to grow or making it easier to stay the same? Do they celebrate your ambition or quietly mock it? Do they encourage bold thinking or nudge you back into your comfort zone? These questions may not be easy, but they're necessary. And if you discover that your current circle doesn't align with your aspirations, it's time to make a shift. That doesn't mean cutting people out harshly or disrespectfully. It means becoming intentional about where you invest your energy. You owe it to your future self to spend time with people who uplift you, challenge you, and inspire you to become more. One of the most effective ways to upgrade your environment is to seek mentors. A mentor is someone who has already achieved what you're working toward. They've walked the path, navigated the obstacles, and can guide you through the unknown. But a mentor does more than offer advice. The right mentor will raise your expectations. They'll challenge your self-imposed limits. They'll demand more from you than you currently demand from yourself. And let's be clear, seeking mentorship is not a weakness. It's a strategic decision. It's how serious people shortcut the learning curve and avoid years of unnecessary trial and error. So if you're committed to becoming your best self, don't try to do it alone. In the next section, we'll talk about how to find the right mentors and how to build relationships that elevate your growth and hold you accountable at the highest level. Let's move on. In the previous section, we explored the importance of mentors, how they accelerate growth and hold you to a higher standard. Now, let's continue by looking at how to build that kind of high-performance environment around you, even if you don't have direct access to one-on-one mentorship. The most successful individuals in any field, whether it's business, athletics, art, or leadership, all have something in common. They have mentors. They understand that being close to greatness speeds up their own progress. But what if you don't yet have access to a personal mentor? That's not a dead end. It's simply a starting point. Seek out wisdom wherever it lives. Read books written by people you admire. Watch interviews, attend seminars, join mastermind groups. Put yourself in environments where excellence is the standard, not the exception. Surround yourself with those who think bigger, act bolder, and demand more from life. The more time you spend in that atmosphere, the more those mindsets and habits will begin to take root in you. Another powerful, often overlooked factor, energy. Energy is contagious. Just as negativity can spread like wildfire, so can ambition, enthusiasm, and resilience. The people you surround yourself with have a greater impact on your emotional and mental state than you might realize. Have you ever left a conversation with a highly motivated person feeling electrified and ready to take action? On the flip side, have you ever walked away from someone and felt completely drained or discouraged? That's not a coincidence. It's the emotional climate of your social circle at work. And over time, that climate shapes your internal world, your mindset, your emotional resilience, even your sense of possibility. That's why winners choose to be around other winners. Not out of ego, but out of necessity. They know that their mindset, their discipline, and their outcomes are all reflections of the company they keep. So they actively seek out connections that challenge them to rise higher, stretch further, and hold themselves to a greater standard. Because greatness is never achieved in isolation. It's forged in the company of those who are on the same path, those who refuse to settle, who demand more, and who are willing to walk through discomfort in pursuit of something bigger. At the end of the day, your success is your responsibility. No one is going to curate your environment for you. You have the power to choose who influences your thoughts, your actions, and your future. You decide who has access to your time, your energy, and your ambition. So here's the question. Will you make that choice? Will you take control of your circle and build a community that pulls you toward your potential? Or will you remain in an environment that slowly suffocates your growth? The choice is yours. And in the next section, we'll dive into how to become the kind of person others want to follow. How to lead by example and build influence through discipline, clarity, and unshakable purpose. Let's keep going. In the last section, we explored how choosing the right people to surround yourself with can elevate your mindset, your energy, and your entire trajectory. When you shift your circle, your standards naturally rise. And with higher standards come greater expectations. For yourself and for what's possible. If you want to elevate your life, you must first elevate your standards. And the fastest, most effective way to do that, elevate your environment. Surround yourself with the disciplined. Learn from the driven. Align yourself with winners. People whose ambition challenges yours and whose commitment makes excuses feel out of place. When you do that, success becomes more than just a possibility. It becomes inevitable. Step 5. Take massive action. This is where most people stumble. They get stuck in the loop of preparation without execution. They read the books. They build elaborate vision boards filled with beautiful images of their dream life. They spend hours thinking, planning, and imagining. But when the time comes to take real, tangible steps to actually do something, they hesitate. They stall. They wait for more information. They tell themselves they need more time, more clarity, more certainty. And in that endless loop of hesitation, their dreams stay exactly where they've always been, just dreams. But the most successful people think differently. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't need someone else to validate their readiness. They don't drown in analysis or overthinking. Instead, they act quickly, boldly, decisively, because they understand something most don't. Imperfect action is always more powerful than perfect inaction. Movement, any movement, creates momentum, and momentum is the gateway to mastery. The harsh truth? The perfect time will never come. If you're waiting for fear to disappear, for the stars to align, or for life to hand you a guarantee, you'll be waiting forever. Life doesn't offer that kind of certainty. Every great success story you've ever admired started with someone who jumped in before they felt ready. They took the leap without knowing how it would all play out. They stumbled. They made mistakes. But they adapted, learned, and most importantly, they kept moving. Failure is not the enemy. Inaction is. The moment you begin to see failure as part of the process, not a final verdict, You become unstoppable because you realize failure is feedback. Every misstep is a lesson. Every setback is a stepping stone. The world doesn't reward those who play it safe. It rewards those who are willing to step into discomfort. Those who move despite fear, not in the absence of it. Because courage isn't the lack of fear. It's taking action while fear is still present. So what's really holding you back? In the next section, we'll dive into the root of hesitation and explore how your beliefs, not your circumstances, might be the true barriers keeping you from massive progress. Let's keep going. Previously, we uncovered a hard truth. Waiting for the perfect moment will keep you stuck. Success belongs to those who act boldly, even when they feel unprepared. But what stops most people from moving forward? It's not a lack of talent, it's self-doubt. Self-doubt whispers that you're not ready. Fear tells you that you might look foolish. Anxiety creeps in with the question, what if I make the wrong decision? But here's what you need to understand. There's no such thing as a perfect decision. Every path forward is paved with imperfect actions, and success is built on a series of those exact steps. Each action, no matter how flawed, becomes a lesson. Each step forward, even if shaky, gets you closer to mastery. The most successful people in the world didn't wait until they felt confident. They didn't hold off until the stars aligned. They started before they were ready. They stepped into the unknown, took messy action, and figured things out as they went. Through doing, not waiting, they sharpened their skills, built experience, and created success brick by brick. Think of the greats in business, in sports, in the arts. What do they all have in common? They started. They acted despite uncertainty. They faced obstacles and kept adjusting. They were rejected, criticized, doubted, but they didn't stop. They refused to be defined by failure. Instead, they used it to fuel their comeback. What separates those who achieve from those who remain stuck isn't talent, intelligence, or even timing. It's action, relentless, disciplined, and consistent action. The world does not reward those who only dream. It rewards those who do. Those who turn their vision into movement, who execute with persistence and intention. The dreamers often remain on the sidelines, thinking, planning, hoping. But the doers? They're in the game. They make mistakes, yes, but they also make progress. And in the end, it's the doers who win. So right now, make a decision. What is one action you can take today that brings you closer to your goal? Not next week, not someday, today. Whether it's writing that email, picking up the phone, recording the video, writing the first page, hitting the gym, or launching the project, do it now. Stop overthinking. Stop doubting. Stop waiting. Because every moment you hesitate is a moment you lose. Success isn't about ideas. It's about execution. Ideas without action, they're just wishes. Execution is the difference. It's the willingness to show up when it's hard, to persist when it's uncomfortable, and to push through when the odds aren't in your favor. Your time is now. Not when you feel ready. Not when everything is perfect. Now, because readiness is a myth. You don't wait for confidence. You earn it through movement. The more you act, the more competent you become. And the more competent you become, the more confident you feel. With that confidence, success becomes inevitable. So take that first step, however small, however uncertain. Just start. Start before you're ready. Let momentum pull you forward. Because in the end, the people who succeed aren't always the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They're the ones who took action. And you have that power within you right now. These 5 steps are your blueprint to transformation. Master your mindset. Set goals that stretch you. Develop relentless self-discipline. Surround yourself with excellence. Take massive, unstoppable action. Average is easy. Fortune is earned. It's earned through the daily decisions you make. So ask yourself, what choice will you make today? Your future isn't written by chance. It's written by you. Go take action and build the life you truly deserve. wishing you health, happiness, and fulfillment. And don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Daily for more content that inspires real transformation.